Hello Oracles! Well, today I wanted to break down my production and delivery forecasts for Q4. I'll break down some other analysts' numbers as well to give you guys some perspective as to what we could be looking at for production and delivery numbers. Now, we do have 2 weeks left of the quarter. Many times we do have a lot of analysts making a lot of adjustments over these last 2 weeks to their estimates, so I wanted to put these out here now. And again, I will be making adjustments on a weekly basis. Those of you who are members and patrons, you guys get to see these numbers every week as I update them. And I'm pretty proud of myself. Last month for Shanghai, I missed production numbers by 454 vehicles. Also, I wanted to break into some other numbers as well. Had a discussion with Tesla Q over on Twitter discussing Tesla's market share, and they keep on harping on Tesla's market share being their EV market share, and that's what they are losing. We've had this discussion many times. We're going to get into that as well, and I'm going to break down for you guys what Tesla's true market share is when it comes to the entire automotive market. And so first, to break down my production forecast, I am forecasting right now 464,000 vehicles getting produced in Q4. Now, we do have those rumors that are floating around out there about Tesla cutting production over in Shanghai by 20%, or maybe a possible retooling going on at the end of the year for the last week. I did not factor those into that 464. If we do get some sort of production cut out of Shanghai for whatever reason, my numbers at that point would be 442,000 for production. So the breakdown overall, we've got Fremont coming in at 144,000. We've got Shanghai coming in at 268 or 246, again, depending on whether they are going to be doing any sort of production reduction going on over there. Out of Austin, I have 24,000 and Berlin 28,000. We know that those two factories have been ramping simultaneously, with Berlin just ahead of Austin. We know that Tom Zhu is over in Austin right now discussing, we don't know what, but we're assuming it has to do with production as well. So I'm guessing going into 2023, we'll see a bump coming out of Austin. But until that happens, I don't know if Austin is even going to be reaching 3,000 vehicles per week as a run rate by the end of the year. Definitely moving in that direction, so I'm excited about where we're going from here, but just with the last few weeks of the quarter coming, I don't know if we're going to be pushing out that many more vehicles. So the total for the entire year, I have Tesla producing 1,390,627 vehicles. So we'll see again, January 2nd is normally when we get these numbers that come out. And again, for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to pay attention to see what is going on with Shanghai, if they're going to be doing any production cuts, because again, that would also affect my full year forecast as well. And so now when it comes to deliveries, I have Tesla delivering 429,000 vehicles for Q4. Analyst estimates are 430,000. Troy Teslak is coming in at 428,000. Gary Black comes in with production at 440,000 and deliveries at 430,000. So a lot of us are right around that 430,000 mark. We will see how close we are. We know that Elon had came out and said that we are going to be seeing an epic Q4. So I don't know, obviously, what he means by an epic Q4. People are saying that he was saying this because he was trying to pump the stock before he sold it. I don't know. Either way, I'm looking at just strictly Tesla, not what Elon was doing one way or another. It was, right now, it looks like 430,000 vehicles getting delivered. Makes a lot of sense. We have a lot of people that are delaying their deliveries for the US, waiting to take advantage of that tax credit when it rolls out in 2023. So we have a lot of that going on, so I think there's going to just be delayed demand, so we may see a much stronger Q1. Plus, as Tesla says, they're trying to be smoothing out the wave. We know it's not going to happen in one quarter, so it seems like they've been smoothing this out, so there may not be as much of a push at the end of the quarter. But who knows, seeing as all the headwinds we have been facing this year, it may be something Tesla is trying to do so they can achieve that near 50% year-over-year growth when it comes to deliveries. I have a feeling they're going to be hitting it when it comes to production, but deliveries might be a little bit short. And now, of course, we have been seeing great demand in other areas around the world. Thailand just opened up their ordering, and they have already sold 5,000 Model 3s and Model Ys. So congratulations, Thailand, for opening up. And now that's going to be another great place that Shanghai can export all of their vehicles to. And so now when it comes to Tesla's growth overall, we hear the Tesla Qs and the bears come out and say that Tesla is losing EV market share. We've discussed this many a times. This is true. That's just the nature of things. If Tesla sold 100 vehicles and that was the entire market, Tesla now owns 100% of the market. If one other competitor comes out with one EV and sells it, that means that Tesla is going to be losing market share. That's just how the basic math works. But when you're looking at EV adoption added into that, and the fact that the entire world is going to be moving over to all EVs, we are going to be looking at the overall automotive market. It is total vehicles sold. The whole split between the EV market and the automotive market is an incorrect way to look at things in my eyes, because as we go down the road, it comes down to what is the total number of vehicles that Tesla is delivering based upon all other vehicles that are out there. So I was having this discussion with someone on Tesla Q over on Twitter, and they gave me numbers. The numbers that I provided for all cars sold, he felt was incorrect. So I used Tesla Q numbers when it came to all cars sold. Now, this is cars. As he brought up, this does not include trucks or vans. However, truck and van sales did follow the trend when it came to all ICE vehicles. So despite the fact that these numbers might not include truck and van sales, the percentages and growth along the way still remain the same. So going back to 2016, there were 90 million cars sold in the entire world. Tesla sold 76,000. That was 0.08%. 2017 was 92 million overall. Tesla sold 103,000 for 0.1%. 2018 was 92 million again. Tesla sold 245,000 for 0.2%. 2019 was 88 million. Tesla sold 367,000 for 0.4%. 2020, we saw that drop off when it came to COVID, so the entire world only saw 73 million cars sold. Meanwhile, Tesla still grew and sold 500,000 for 0.6% of the market. In 2021, 70 million were sold. Tesla sold 910,000 of those for 1.3% of the market. Now this year in 2022, we have seen sort of a little bit of a rebound at the end of the year on a global scale. So we are going to estimate that we are looking at 75 million vehicles being sold globally here in 2022. Tesla is projected, based upon my numbers, to be selling about 1.35 million. That would be 1.8% of the entire automotive global market. So as we can see, even based off of Tesla Q numbers, Tesla has been growing their market share across the entire globe when it comes to the entire automotive world. So for Tesla, they are still growing. We are still moving in that direction. We have been seeing other companies that are shrinking in this process. Meanwhile, Tesla grows and takes over more of the market. So now when we look out to 2030, and I am projecting that 90% of the vehicles sold are going to be EVs, Tesla having a growing percentage of that entire global automotive market means that they are going to be selling even more vehicles than everyone else. This is why looking at it from an EV market share standpoint does not make sense, because over the next 3 to 5 years, legacy auto is going to be shrinking their ICE market and growing their EV market. So if you're only going to be looking at the EV market alone, Tesla naturally will be losing market share. However, ICE will be losing market share even more, which means that legacy auto won't even have as big of a piece of the entire global automotive market as they do now, while Tesla is chipping into that. And this actually holds true for all pure EV automotive players as well. NIO, XPeng, Lucid, Rivian, they are going to be growing their market share when it comes to the overall automotive industry. So all of these players will be chipping away. So the exact reasoning that Tesla Q is saying that Tesla is losing EV market share is actually the exact reason why all legacy automotive is losing overall market share, is because we have other players that are coming in that do not sell ICE vehicles, and Tesla is leading the way there. And I will be looking out for all of the vans and trucks that have been sold over that time frame as well, so that I can add them all together and get that true percentage that Tesla Q is going to be fighting. So I will put all of these numbers together for you guys. I'll put together a nice little graph and I'll be able to share it with you guys one of the evenings this week once I get it all up and set. And so at the time of this recording, Tesla is down about 0.5%. The entire market is slightly red. But again, tomorrow on Tuesday, December 13th, we are going to be getting the CPI data at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. I apologize. I think I previously said it was going to be today. So it is actually tomorrow, December 13th. We will get that. That is also the first day of the FOMC meeting, and then we will be getting the interest rates coming out on Wednesday. So we are anticipating those rates coming in with a 50 basis point hike. Elon has been sending out several warnings. We discussed it last week. The Fed raising interest rates as much as they are is kind of leading us to believe that we are going to get pushed into a deeper recession. The biggest concern when it comes to the Fed right now isn't so much inflation, because we have seen PPI trending down, we have seen the CPI trending down, but we do still have some wage inflation that's going on. And the Fed just wants to quell that, because that there could lead to some bigger problems and push inflation back up. So I think that the Fed is just staying strong with this just because they want to keep this wage inflation under control. So we'll see how the next year plays out. The Fed really has not changed what they have been saying. They just changed their tone here and there as to a more hawkish stance or a more dovish stance. So we'll see how they come out this week with what they're saying. But what they have been saying is basically the same. This sounds like it's going to be a 50 basis point hike, and then they're going to monitor. They're probably not going to be planning any rate hikes for the next FOMC meeting after this. They are going to wait and see what the effects of their rate hikes have been having on inflation and just monitor as it comes down. So again, we dropped down significantly with the PPI. The CPI expectations are 7.3%. Last month we came in at 7.7%. So again, as long as we are trending down under that 7.7%, that's a good sign. So that just means that what the Fed is doing is working. So that would lead me to believe that we will probably see a pause coming in January, and we'll wait and see from there if they are going to be continuing with rate hikes or just waiting to see how the data plays out. Jerome Powell did lead us to believe that they are going to be keeping the interest rates higher in that 4 to 5% range for the majority of 2023, just to kind of help let the dust settle. And at that point, they'll be able to monitor, do they go up more? Do they pivot and come down to kind of keep things in order? So that sounds like their plan. Jerome Powell has not changed that plan for the entirety of this year. That is basically what they have been saying all along. And it's just a matter of, are they going to go a little bit higher or a little bit lower? That was really it. So again, we're just kind of playing this waiting game, and we'll find out on Wednesday what this next rate hike is going to be. So let me know in the comments below, what are your delivery and production forecasts for Q4 for Tesla? What do you guys feel about the overall automotive market share? Do you guys actually track the EV market share itself and how Tesla is growing in that? Or are you more concerned yourself about the entire automotive market share around the globe? Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all of the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat. That link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do a membership program and a Patreon. Those links are also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.